The Captain's Log Radio, with your host, Captain Jonathan Moss.
Hello and welcome to the Captain's Log Radio. I'm Captain Jonathan Moss. Today is January 10th. It's the second Friday of January, and that means one thing. Today is Quitter's Day. You heard me correctly. Quitter's Day. You see, according to the Baylor College of Medicine, 80% of people who start a New Year's resolution quit by the second Friday. 88% quit by the end of January. Which means you have a very low likelihood that you're going to accomplish what you set out to do this year. And that's within 10 days of the new year. Within 31 days of the new year. One thing I was reminded of and taught as a kid. Every day you get up and you have breakfast. Every day you get up before you go to school, you eat breakfast. You start your day with a good meal. We were in school, you're taught breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Okay? But if you skip breakfast, and then you skip breakfast the next day, does that mean you just skip breakfast forever? No. No, of course not. Hey, listen, you set yourself up for success. You have made a decision. You have picked a goal, a resolution. You have decided you wanted to accomplish something. Okay, so you messed up. You fell off the wagon. Get up. Get back on the horse. You missed breakfast one time. Who cares? Get back on it. See, that's the beauty of this, is no one's going to be perfect. I know one person that's perfect. That's Jesus Christ. Outside of that, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect. You'll never be perfect. Okay? So if we can preach that to ourselves, we can show some grace to ourselves, remind ourselves, hey, yeah, I messed up. I didn't go to the gym today. Hey, I had my eyes focused, my goal focused on this, and I messed up today. Okay, well, tomorrow is a new day. Just because it's Quitter's Day doesn't mean you have to quit. I'm here to encourage you. Get after it. Keep pushing. Keep swimming. Remember Dory from Finding Nemo? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I'm going to tell you a story, and this isn't about me, okay? But I want to tell you about something that I did years ago. I am not a runner. I am not built like a runner. I've never been fast at running. I got faster, but I signed up for a race. I live in Florida. There are no mountains in Florida. The closest thing we have are mounts, and that's a joke. It's a hill. It's still, we're at sea level. It's zero. We're at zero, okay? I signed up for a race, excuse me, years ago in Pennsylvania. I was out of college. I was a teacher at the time, and I worked out at a CrossFit gym, CrossFit Firebase, which is now called Primus. Primus is a sponsor of the show. Joey is the owner, and Joey is awesome. He's also my chiropractor. He's just all around killer dude. Okay, signed up for this race in Pennsylvania, in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, in the mountains. It was 28 miles. The furthest I had ever run before the race was 8 miles. I was supposed to run 28 miles, okay? And I ran this 8 miles like 2 days before we left for our trip, okay? It was crazy. It was nuts. But I finished it. I started the race. The first 3 miles were on a road winding up to the trailhead. And the rest of the miles were straight up. In fact, 5 miles in, we got to a boulder field. You can actually go on Google Maps and see the boulder field. Yeah, it's on the side of the mountains. It's the weirdest thing. It's like mountains, and all of a sudden it's a bunch of rocks. Big, big rocks. And you're not running that. We were climbing that. And it was like a mile of climbing it. I have a picture somewhere, not near me where I can grab it fast. No. Okay. But it's a mile up those rocks. And then you just keep going. I saw someone break their ankle on that trail. I remember I got to mile, I think 10, and mile 10 to mile 18 was a loop. Okay, and so you came back across. I got to mile 10, there was a dude sprinting. He's like, get out of the way, get out of the way. And he ran through the people and he kept going. He was going through mile 18. I was like, dang, I'm only at 10 and this joker is sprinting and he's at 18. Okay. But we finished. And I say we because I went with a group of people. If you plan on finishing, accomplishing your goals, you might need to bring some people alongside you. You might need to have accountability partner. You might need to have a person you can just talk through and say, hey man, today sucks. I'm really struggling. I don't want to do X, Y, Z. You might need to have a team around you to encourage you, to push you, to motivate you. Some days are easy. Some days motivation's easy. You get up and you hit the door running, right? Some days it's like, man, like today it's cold. It's cold outside. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to get started with my day. It's freezing. I wanted to stay in bed. That ain't reality. We got to get up. We got to be moving. We got to keep one step after the other. This is my encouragement to you. It's quitter's day. Don't quit. Don't quit. I got home from that race and I thought, man, what's next? Because that literally was the hardest thing I'd ever done. The most physically demanding thing I'd ever done. It took me 12 hours to do that race. There are checkpoints in the race. If you don't make it to certain checkpoints by a certain time, they kick you off. They literally escort you off the mountain. They help you off the mountain. There are places where there's fire roads where they can drive a vehicle up and you get a ride down. I wasn't going to let that happen. We finished the race. I got home and I said, what's next? I want to do something crazy. I want to keep pushing myself, see what I can accomplish. I signed up for a 50-mile race. 50 miles. Like at one time, running. It was stupid. It was insanity. The training for that was, I was running 18, and I had to build up to be able to run 18 miles, but I was running from 18 to 26 miles every other day, like 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I wouldn't feel like loose until I was at least 3 or 4 miles in. Nuts. Okay. I was doing this all the time. I was in the best shape of my life. I had gotten to the best shape of my life. The off days, I was at the gym working out, lifting weights because I didn't want to lose muscle mass from all the running I was doing. I could eat whatever I wanted. I ate nonstop. I could not get enough food. I literally was always hungry because I was burning so many calories every day, moving, running. And when it was go time, when it was the race day, we did it. I had a friend who I ran the race with, 50 miles. He didn't want to stop. You didn't want to stop. We ran a 5-mile loop once, and then a 15-mile loop 3 times. Yes, you're exactly right. I know what you're thinking. That sounds terrible. It was. It was boring. It was very boring. We ran in the woods. It all looked the same. It was boring. Okay. The last 5 miles were hard because you didn't want to stop. Because as soon as you stopped, it was chilly out too. Okay. So you're sweating and you're hot, but as soon as you stop moving, it was so cold outside that your body temperature quickly dropped, and then you were shivering, you were freezing because you were sweaty, you were wet. Excuse me. Sorry, I had this cough. My kids got me sick, and I've had this cough for like 2 months, so I apologize. And the other thing is when you'd stop, your body started hurting. Your brain starts getting in you start thinking, get in your head like, this is stupid. Like I'm in pain, I'm shivering, and I'm hungry. I want real food, not just some snack from a table. Okay. But you had to keep moving. Because if you didn't keep going, if you didn't keep trying, there's no way you were going to accomplish your goals. There's no way the amount of hours and time and miles I put in for that race day, I wasn't going to finish. This isn't about me, okay? This is me trying to encourage you. If this dude can go out and do that, you can accomplish your goals. What are they? What do you want to do? I want to hear from you. I told you, my word this year is intentional. Being intentional. Going after it. Driving all the way through. When I was in high school and I played football, coach said, drive through your opponent. He would be hitting pads, drive through the pad. Lean into it. Push. Yeah, it sucks. Sometimes it sucks really bad. But you can do it. It's January 10th. Not Quitters Day. People who crush it day. People who aren't going to quit day. People who are going to accomplish their goals day. That's you. This is Captain Jonathan Moss. This is Captain's Log Radio. Thank you so much for listening. We didn't talk fishing. It's okay. Go out there and kill it. Go out there and crush it. Talk next time. See you.
Thanks for listening to the Captain's Log Radio with your host, Captain Jonathan Moss.